Sayori, I mean, the girl's been held back twice for crying out loud. She's a year older than you, and still in the freshman class.
You... What gives you the fucking right? Everything in my heart is telling me to tear into him right now, to tell him he's far more worthless than Sayori will ever be. But my brain knows that won't end well for me or Sayori. I place my hand on my chest and take deep, trembling breaths.
Are you alright, Hallie? You stopped moving suddenly.
Yes, I'm fine. Just trying to remember the directions to the home economics classroom.
Don't let me keep you any longer then.
I step out into the empty halls and begin unsteadily making my way toward the home ec classroom. The only other people I encounter are hall monitors who see me coming from the direction of the principal's office and regard me with different expressions, ranging from pity to disgust. None of you understand. None of you even try to understand. My eyes trained unwaveringly to the floor, I continue walking forward until I find my way to the home economics classroom. 15 minutes late. I take a moment to steady my breath before I grab the knob and gently open the door. As soon as I enter, there are several pairs of eyes on me. Not that I can see it, I'm still staring at the floor, but I can feel them, as though they nibble at my flesh. I attempt to make as little sound as possible as I close the door behind me. Within short order, all eyes are returned to their respective tasks, my entry but a momentary interruption. That's when I notice. This class is entirely made up of girls, as if I didn't stand out enough already. The normally appetizing scent of meat being grilled and pastries being baked only makes my stomach turn. I meekly approach one of the instructors and ask what activities are underway. After a moment's pause, I am directed towards a girl of short stature. You don't need the S in towards. And hair dyed an outrageously bright pink. Something about her seems familiar. After psyching myself up, I quietly advance toward the candy-colored girl, hands clutched tightly behind my back. A pint-sized dough puncher is completely engrossed in her work, whisking together dry ingredients such as flour, baking soda, and salt. I simply stand in place, waiting for my presence to be noticed. Finally, she turns around. Yeah, luckily the sounds of running water, frying pans, and microwaves managed to spare everyone but me from her vulgarity.
Who the hell are you, and why the hell are you sneaking up on me?
I'm barely able to string two words together in the face of her outburst. She seems ready to club me with a rolling pin, but instead...
Hold on a sec. Did you just come back from the VP's office? That why you came in late?
Unable to form sentences, I resort instead to nodding my head frantically, my frowning lips stiff as hardtack.
Damn, kid, you don't look like the rock and roll type. But if you're here to help, then get to mashing up these bananas.
She thrusts a stainless steel bowl full of overripe bananas into my gut, causing me to reflexively take hold of it. I guess she picked banana bread in our absence. With little idea of what is actually going on, I retrieve a wooden soup ladle and get to work pulverizing the hapless roots into a mush sure to evoke nightmares in any musa acuminata. I present the pink-haired girl with the bananas, thusly brutalized. She simply nods and receives the bowl into her hands, scooping its contents into the batter.
Crack a couple eggs into the batter while I roast these walnuts.
Using the wooden soup ladle from before, the girl stirs a few handfuls of walnuts in the skillet. As she does so, she watches me closely as I handle the eggs. Delicately, I tap the eggshell against the edge of the bowl, forming a barely perceptible crack, before using my fingers to spread the newly bisected egg, releasing the yolk into the batter without any shell. The girl looks away, trying to hide her expression of surprise, while I look towards her, my rapidly reddening expression pleading with her to tell me what to do next.
Don't just stand there like a frightened poodle. Mix the batter up, numbnuts.
I quickly avert my eyes towards the batter, mixing it with a spatula as she commanded. With the batter mixed, walnuts roasted, and both combined, all that's apparently left to do is scrape the resultant slime into a loaf pan. After having done so, the pink-haired girl inserts the now-occupied loaf pan into the oven and sets the timer to 55 minutes. She breathes a satisfied exhale as the preheated oven gets to work baking her concoction. And away we go! The fragrantly sweet scent wafting from the warm oven is tastefully undercut by the aroma of the roasted walnuts. Said aroma only grows stronger after the pink-haired girl swings the oven door open, blasting our faces with a rush of heat and mouth-watering sweetness. You know, going to the VP's office seems to have made us hit up with her better. And there it is, her vaguely bread-shaped pastry of unknown name, except... banana bread?
Jeez, why is banana bread the first thing you've ever said to me?
Honestly, I don't know why I allowed that to slip out. I thought she didn't want me speaking at all.
Yes, Hallie, we've made banana bread. Took you that long to figure out, huh? I thought quiet guys with glasses were supposed to be smart.
I remained silent before her ribbing. At least, I hope it is merely ribbing. I guess that'd be awfully presumptuous, though. I mean, it's not like anything she's saying is wrong. I am stupid for not catching on sooner. I am slow at washing dishes, and it'd all be just the same if I just... Oh, hold on, words and stuff. No, I'm reading the words. Same if I just disappeared.
Yo, let's get this shit onto a chopping board.
I slip mince onto my hands and retrieve the steaming loaf from the oven, my olfactory sense taking in all the flavors bursting from its dark brown crust. I flip the loaf pan upside down over the chopping board and with a few shakes manage to deposit it gently on the wooden surface. The pink-haired girl already brandishes a bread knife, and if she wasn't so small, her frantic hopping would collapse the roof onto us. She wastes no time cutting out 2 thick slices from the sweetly fragrant loaf, the true expanse of its palate hitting my nostrils only after it is thusly perforated. Banana bread! What a gorgeous specimen. The dark brown crust conceals the yellow cake-like texture within, which houses the mushed bananas and roasted walnuts both. Banana bread is at its best when it's fresh out of the oven, especially with butter. It melts upon the bread's soft yellow grain, infusing it with delicate flavor. Sometimes in recipes online they include powdered sugar or, heaven forbid, chocolate, but I believe the such additions I was thinking about miss the point of.
Yo, you got an out-of-character moment?
The pink-haired girl's colorful imagery snaps me out of my brain tangent, and I notice she's already halfway through her slice. I didn't even pay attention to her reaction. She takes another bite of her slice, staring me down with a furrowed brow. I come to the somewhat bold conclusion that she has given me permission to try the banana bread myself. I notice her eyeing me up as I gingerly take a slice into both hands. Is she studying my reaction? I bite into it. The soft crust gives a little resistance, but just enough to lend to the soft innards a pleasing, satisfying texture. My mouth waters instantly once the food enters it. The bread is delightfully soft and sweet, with the walnuts lending an unmistakable savory crunch. Banana bread is usually wonderful, but this is...
Ha! You know, if you want to keep up this gloomy, evil persona, you'll have to work on your poker face.
It's amazing. My eyes are damn near tearing up from the flavor. Is this what joy feels like?
Well, yeah, I am the best after all.
The two of us enjoy the rest of our individual slices in silence. Before long, one of the instructors passes by and cuts into the loaf, separating out a thin slice for herself. The pink-haired girl wears an expression of anticipation, notably lacking any sort of trepidation. Her confidence is proven to be well-founded.
Excellent work as usual. I did notice some clumping of flour in one spot of the grain, but I'm sure we can chalk that up to outside interference.
The instructor glances in my direction as she says this. I look away to the floor, hiding my face in shame. I'm sorry.
I don't care about or to make excuses, ma'am. The real world is going to have all sorts of outside interference. Just gotta get used to it.
A commendable attitude. Japan needs more young ladies with a sense of duty such as yours. As for you, young gentleman, who was 15 minutes late, get your act together.
The instructor strides towards the next student with long, imperious steps, leaving the words to stew. A moment passes before I inhale deeply and dare to look the girl in the eye.
Grown-ups are just the worst, aren't they?
She wasn't wrong. I probably messed something up along the way. I'm sorry.
Oh, shut the hell up!
I promptly do as the pink-haired girl commands. She once again takes the bread knife into her hand and splits the loaf of banana bread into 2 equal halves. She unrolls a bit of plastic wrap and encases both halves separately in the protective film before taking one of the halves and sticking it in her backpack. Then she vanished. And that signals the end of class. Home economics proved to be just as fun as I thought, for the most part anyway. I sling my backpack over my shoulders and turn to silently leave. The classroom only to be...
Yo!
This time, her outburst was audible to the entire class shuffling out the door. Some turn to look, but must continue on.
You just gonna leave your half of the loaf?
My face reddens, and I scramble to say something half-coherent. No, I couldn't possibly.
Didn't I just tell you to shut the hell up? Here!
The girl presents the other half of the banana bread loaf, her face a twisted image of frustration and disappointment. I hesitantly accept the offer. For some reason, neither of us can look the other in the eye as I stuff the banana bread into my backpack. The pink-haired girl and I are the last ones out the door behind the surging tide of estrogen. And away we go. We're friends with Natsuki now. I heft my backpack and feel the weight of my half loaf of banana bread inside it. Still, maybe she is nice after all. As I ponder this, let's eat. Oh. No, we're gonna try to meet all the Dokis. How about that? I promised Sayori I'd spend lunch with her, but I could never. Oh, they won't let me. No, Yuri! I'm sorry. Sayori forced me. They wouldn't let me. So much for choice-based mods. Fat. Can't make any choices. Alright, you should talk to your doctor. That was the smart thing I said we should do. Just take it. Okay, here's the confrontational one. We'll do this one. This one's mean.
Pretty much. Same reason I get out of bed, shower and brush my teeth, eat, show up to school. Well, as you've seen, that last one hasn't worked out as of late. But I am trying, if only for the sake of my poor mom and dad, who already worry so much.
Living for the sake of others. I can't say that's not a good reason to go on. Do you feel like you need to keep up appearances around me, too?
You're the smart one. Figure it out.
There's an opening text box. You shouldn't feel like I stopped myself. The hypocrisy of what I was about to say suddenly hits me. All people wear masks no matter their company, including me. Especially me. It's precisely why I, of all people, presume to try comforting Sayori, while knowing full well how impossible that is. Because it's for the same reason everyone else does it. The same reason everyone else thinks you can just move forward and change your outlook. The reason being, I'm just trying to make myself feel better. Not Sayori. Ignorant and self-indulgent. That's what I am. I feel sick to my stomach. I have no right to speak. But, for her sake, I have to put in the effort. At least keep showing up to school. If you do that, I'll hang out with you whenever you want. Sound like a deal? Away we go. The teacher. Funny old lady. Whatever. Sorry, this is my first day in this class, and... Oh yeah, because we missed the other first day.
Oh, I see. In the future, Hallie, please email IT for the password you'll be using, etc. and so forth.
The teacher gives a grunt of acknowledgement as I breathe a sigh of relief, grateful this at least wasn't grounds for a reprimand. Maybe she doesn't even know we were supposed to be there on the first day. Like, what difference did it make to them? It's not like they're gonna put out a memo, right? Oh, so you can skip texts sometimes. If you go into it skipping. That banana bread she made was pretty damn good. And I even got to take some home with me. Go. Are we going downtown? No, we're back at the train station. Yeah, that's like a CRE acknowledgement thing. I drop my backpack to the floor and zip it open before extracting the plastic container with my half of the banana bread. Damn it. Looks like it got a little beat up in transit. The cold air inside the fridge crashes against me. And I skip. Looks like it's banana bread for dinner. I break out the banana bread from the bowels of its box and brandish a blade before it bites off a big bit from the brink. But it wasn't in a box. Or did he put it in a box? And I just absolutely forgot a moment later. Oh no, we're getting picked on again. What? Hold on. You have to walk all the way back home. A much farther distance that by yourself, which seemed to recall you saying is not safe. Well, wait a second. No. We want to do the Natsuki thing this time. Okay, fine, sure, fair enough. Offers on the table, though.
Move back into your old place and we won't have this dilemma.
Yeah, see, now we can walk home with Natsuki because we won't be walking with Sayori. No, there's no reason to go dumping all that on her now. In this housing market, as if.
What's our new place like anyway?
Exactly like my old place.
If it's that close to downtown, it's gotta be pretty bougie, right?
No idea how Mom even managed to swing this. Typish. Gotta send pics sometime. This place is huge. I bet there was a meth lab in the basement or a smith, and what that brought the value down.
Oh, you should go searching down there. Maybe they left Smith behind in a crawl space.
Sayori, you were supposed to scold me for saying stupid shit like that.
I would ask Kodu for discovering a potential revenue stream.
Shmeh. Although I am disappointed she didn't agree to the whole walking home together thing, I suppose I should be thankful we can continue talking like this, making dumb jokes, playfully scolding one another. It's more than I should ever dare to hope for. Go. Alright, so we played Souls and Swords. We played... Was this the one we played last time? Or this one? I can't remember which one we played. I want to pick the third one we didn't play yet. Hold on, I'm gonna drop a save, and if it's the wrong one... Well, because I can't remember. Like, that... Wyvern Odyssey, The Forsaken Prince Eastward Bound. I think this is the one we didn't play yet. I really need to pick this game back up again. It's been ages, and it's one of those RPGs that are like tens of hours long. I just hope I can remember what I was doing. At least they're not like hundreds of hours long. Like Persona 5, where it's like average playthrough time is like 180 hours. Right, this goddamn boss fight. Lord Trapture. His gimmick is that at the start of every round, he gets a free turn to summon one of his skullduggery minions. It gets out of hand very quickly if you don't keep them suppressed. But the problem is, AoE spells, besides being expensive as hell, aren't always reliable, since the skullduggeries have an attack where they spend a turn underground, thus negating any offensive they might be targeted with, not even to mention the obnoxious MP draining spell Trapture himself employs. That's also something you need to stay on top of, because once he reaches full MP, he unleashes a spell called Baleful Wail, which does intense damage to the entire party and inflicts fear. And that's a party wipe again. I tried focusing the skullduggeries, but without Lucian draining Trapture's MP, he used Baleful Wail, and it all fell apart from there. Although, I actually noticed something. When Trapture uses Baleful Wail, it hits the skullduggeries in addition to my party. What if I slotted my whole party with equipment to prevent fear, allowed Trapture to unleash Baleful Wail, just wiping out his own minions, and meanwhile, I use my turns, stacking buffs and taking defensive actions until Trapture is alone again, then burst him down all at once. Tactical genius. Oh, fuck you. You did not just get handed that crit. Crits are BS. Gotcha! Gotcha, you son of a bitch! Yeah! I whip out a couple of clumsy shadowboxing punches as Lord Trapture crumples to the floor and the victory theme rings out. I look to my right at the empty plates sitting on the floor. Guess I was eating banana bread. Didn't even notice I had been munching on the banana bread this whole time.